So let me ask you a question. What do you think nature's favorite animal is? Like, what animal does it just love to create? It's common knowledge that humans aren't really contenders for being the favorites. We're quite weak, small, clumsy, and in general we just don't have much going for us, to be honest. Few things evolved to have the Homo sapiens body we have. Crabs, on the other hand, are surprisingly popular amongst the planet's species. When you think of a crab, what comes to your mind? You probably imagine a red, crustaceous creature with large claws, a round shell, some legs, and a cute, menacing look, as most people do. So, would you call this a crab? Okay, well, that is actually a crab. I just wanted to throw you off because otherwise it'd be too obvious. But okay, now, is this a crab? It's okay if you said yes. Prior to this week, I would also think that that is a crab. I mean, it just fits the description, right? Well, what I just showed you is a porcelain crab. And you might be yelling at your screen telling me how its own name contradicts what I'm about to say, but science says that that is no crab. It just looks like one. Okay, now, let's look at our previous description for a crab. A red, crustaceous creature with large claws, a round shell, and some legs. It has all of that, but it isn't a crab. According to biologists, alongside all of that criteria, they also need to come from a specific infraorder, the Brachyurus, which the porcelain crab does not. So, what is happening? Okay, let's look a bit further into it. A crab is an animal that comes from the Brachyurus infraorder, as I said. The name comes from Greek for short tail, which is a reference to how its body is basically a blob with a tail hidden entirely under the thorax. The porcelain crab, though, does not come from that family. It comes from a different infraorder, the Anomurus. And it isn't alone. They're known as the fake crabs of the world. And alongside the porcelain crab, we have the hermit crab and the king crab, who are also some of the many other species you'd look at and say, oh, that's a crab. Now that I've let you get a bit confused, we can ask some questions like, why are they so similar? And why are Anomurus not crabs? Okay, let's answer both of those questions. Why are some crabs not crabs? Well, it all comes down to the infraorder, as I said, but if you want the definition to be a bit more specific, one characteristic that separates them is the placement of their antennae. Summing it up, true crabs only have them between their eyes, and fake crabs don't, but most of the times it's right outside of them though. True crabs also use all 4 pair of legs to walk, and fake ones mostly use 3. The 4th one is too short to help with walking. Now that that's out of the way, we can get to the fun part of the video. Why are they so similar if they are different? Analyzing the family tree of the species that led to both of these groups of animals, we see a very weird pattern that has repeated many times in history. Lots of crustaceans simply decided to evolve crab-like features. They all had one thing in common, being a decapod, which means that they had 10 feet in Greek. But still, it's impressive. Lobsters, prawns, and shrimps all seem to dream of becoming a crab. It's as if the crab is the popular kid in high school who they all want to be like. Truth is, they kind of are. Well, not like the popular kid in school who's just normal. Crabs actually are better than everybody else in many things. For starters, there's even a word for it, carcinisation, when an independent species steals many of the defining characteristics of a crab because it wants to be like one. So, what do these animals think crabs have done better? Well, it turns out a lot. Crabs are actually great. Think about it. They move fast, they can tuck into practically any corners and have snappy claws, and also just are great at avoiding predators. There are a lot of benefits to having a crab body. Meanwhile, a shrimp, yeah, that could have some upgrades, to be completely honest. Most of the time carcinization has happened, it was for 3 particular reasons. Firstly, their flatter body lowers their center of gravity, allowing them to move more quickly. Tucking the tail in also helps them find a better hiding spot when running from a predator. And biologists also speculate that the crab body is just more versatile than any lobster or prawn can be. That lets evolution do its job and turn them into the most versatile crustaceans, ready for many different environments. All in all, this kind of convergent evolution isn't anything new here. We can see something similar with wings. Both bugs and birds have them, even though they're much more distant, biologically speaking, than true crabs and fake crabs. The idea that nature wants to turn everything into a crab is a truth baked into a lie. It has happened, but so has the opposite. A brachyura gave up some of its characteristics to look more like a lobster or a prawn. It all depends on the animal's need. Evolution always does its thing. Either way, it's just funny to imagine that nature's weird obsession is actually creating crabs. By the way, I couldn't find where to put this info in the video, but just as a little bit of information, the evolutionary split that separated the true crabs and fake crabs happened around 250 million years ago. So, hope you have fun with that. We like to think we're nature's greatest creation. I mean, we have a brain capable of doing so much amazing stuff. We've created tools and even languages. But the more we think about it, we might actually be inferior to crabs. I mean, look at them. Wouldn't you want to live on a sunny beach knowing you're nature's favorite? Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye!